Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I am Tony Sindelar, your dungeon master for this new adventure here on Total Party Kill. Let's join our players in action as they are crossing the road. Let's remind ourselves who our new players are in this adventure. Tiff Arment, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Also known as El Scorcho, right? Is that what we're supposed to say?
Yeah, El Scorcho. What is El Scorcho?
She is a tiefling and druid.
Thank you. Liz Miles, welcome.
Hello. Welcome to you too.
Liz, would you like to tell us who your character is?
I'm playing Velo, the less demonic, who is a human warlock.
Spooky. James Thompson, hello.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be back after all this time. I am playing
Nerexius Narbat,
who is a dragonborn bard.
Okay. Adina Hurley, welcome to the podcast.
Woo. Oh, okay.
Introduce yourself at least a little bit.
Hello.
I was waiting for a question. So I am playing Olena, a half-elf rogue.
And last but not least, Mike Hurley.
Hello, I am Maximilian Thundercliff. Max Thunder to his friends, but as of yet, has no friends.
Any day now. And also, last but not least, Jason, I was going by the order of people in Zoom, and they reordered.
Oh, no.
So, also Laster and Leaster, Jason Snell.
Hello, I am Furion, an elf, and I don't think anybody really knows what Furion's class is yet. He's
To be determined.
It's to be really, but he loves books, man. Woo!
If there was a book class, he'd be in that one.
So, last time our adventurers met up in the town of Oakhurst, and there were some introductions and some getting to know yous and getting the lay of the land. And it seems like basically Max, and with a lot of work from Elle, have assembled a group to go in search of a quest. Sometimes you get the quest and then the group, but today we have the group first. And they are crossing the street toward the rather impressive stone manor house of the Hukriel. Am I saying it right, Mike?
I was going with Hercriel, because it's kind of like my name, you know?
Okay.
Hercriel.
The Hercriel merchant family. Maximilian has a help wanted poster, basically, that he's answering, and he figured he'd look better if he had a group with him. And players, I'll tell you, because we did not do too much of this last time, if you want to use any of your skills in various situations, this is just a reminder that you have a variety of skills, and you might look over your character sheet as you're going into conversations with people. These are not particularly things you'd use on other player characters, on your and on your adventuring colleagues, but you might use these various skills with people you encounter in the world. So, for example, your more social related skills are under charisma. So if you look at your character sheet, a common one might be like deception, or persuasion, or intimidation, are all different social skills that you might use in a conversation.
Tony, I have a question on that, if that's okay. Next to some of mine, I have a little letter P. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I'm proficient in that?
Yes, that is
and
what that
means.
means.
That result in for me?
I think that means that you have a higher score in it, basically. Okay. Yeah. So, like, Mike, give us an example of something Maximilian is reasonably good at.
Persuasion.
Okay. So what's your bonus to persuasion?
+3.
All right. So if Mike wanted to persuade somebody, he might roll persuasion. So he'd roll d20 and add his persuasion modifier. As the dungeon master, I get to kind of determine, based on context, how easy or difficult it is to persuade that person, which, might be influenced by who they are and what you've already done. For example, if you've intimidated somebody and are now trying to persuade them, it might be very hard or impossible. In general, something that is easy to do requires a 10. Something that's like moderately difficult is more like a 15, and like a 20 would be impossible. Right. So above 10 is usually reasonably, you're successful. So that might come up. I'll mention the only other ones that might come up in social situations. There's also insight, which is basically like, is this person, like, what's going on with this person? Are they being truthful, or whatnot? Any questions about any of that?
No.
no.
I was going to ask just generally, do we have a sense of what our companions' skills are?
I think just based on visual appearance so far, or things that they have told you. For example, Furion has talked about books a lot. You appear to have a guitar. Vilo is inebriated. L has a weasel. So, and Mike, Maximilian is very attractive. So,
I'm big. I'm the big guy.
A well-rounded group.
Wait, who's bigger?
Yeah.
Max
I'm
or
bigger.
Nox?
Nox is bigger. And has higher
I'm
charisma,
assuming
but-
because I am 6'9". James said he was 6'10",
Yeah,
which makes me think that
James
James
undercut.
specifically looked at my character sheet when setting his height.
I did not, actually.
Oh, how interesting.
What's your charisma, then?
I'm plus
Price
1
is
on
Right
charisma,
rules.
13. Very charismatic
13.
individual.
Yeah, well, my plus 3, 16.
Okay. Are we rolling
mine's
against each other right
17.
now?
yeah,
Is that what's happening?
you know what is not very charismatic? Going up to people and being like, "Who's more charismatic, me or you?"
Yeah,
They're
that's because
right
it's...
now, before we even go over, they're fighting over this.
Yeah,
Like,
you're arguing in the street.
Yeah.
all the farmers are keeping their distance
People
as
like
you argue
Lilo.
about who is
We're not doing this
who
in
is cooler and
character.
more
We're ju-
charismatic.
We
Who's
are just trying to
taller, more
establish this person to person, not our characters.
Okay,
They're
sorry.
standing
Just,
back to back right now in the middle of the street,
Yes.
trying to figure out who's taller.
and Maximilian is like, the street is slanted. I need to stand on this side now.
Boys, you're both pretty. Okay,
You are both the prettiest. Let's agree to disagree.
Yay.
you're both very tall. Good job.
Can we
Yes.
roll
Yeah.
for prettiest?
No, because...
Later. All right, you're finally crossing the street. Something I thought might have happened an hour ago.
No, we can stretch this out for a whole hour.
You know what? I may have overprepared for today. Oh god, I've already asked Mike how to pronounce it.
Hercreol.
Can I go knock
Hercreol.
on the door?
Can you what?
Can I knock on the door?
Yeah. So L, you head up there. It's actually kind of like a gate. There's a little they have a little walled garden in front of their house. And you go and
Any small demonic statues?
is there what?
Like a little demonic gnome in the garden? Kind of
Yeah,
thing?
I mean, I don't. The other people may not interpret it as demonic, but you do. Also, you gotta watch it. This is a world in which gnomes are a thing, so just be careful.
Yeah, I've
actually
already
be a gnome.
biased against them. I met Cookie in their temple. I don't like these gnomes of Oakshot.
All right.
They're a bit.
There's only like one, and you
I
date
don't
her.
like the gnome of Oakshot.
So, El Scorcho, you want to head up to the gate and knock?
Yep. Knocking.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The gate
this is a wooden
opens.
gate.
Well, it's got like a wooden door in the gate.
Oh.
So the wooden door opens, and what it clearly some kind of bodyguard / house servant pokes their head out. They've got like a big coat of arms on their chest. You know, it does unless they're just like a big fan of the Hercreol family. You know, they appear to be employed by them, and he seems a little bit taken aback by the sight of a tiefling, followed by just a very motley crew behind them. Can I help you?
Can I deceive him? What we're there for?
You want to deceive
Can
him?
I just say, we are responding to a help wanted ad. Can we not just respond to the help wanted ad?
All right,
You know
right,
what?
let me take
Do we
that
have to
back.
deceive?
No sense of drama.
Maximilian, you have made a choice that you let L go first. So this is up to L. So
Okay.
L, why don't you roll? Wait, you know what? Why don't you tell me what you're going to say, and then you're going to roll a deception check, and that may determine how well it goes over. People, the best adventures start with lies. They're like relationships.
I think I've started this all wrong.
No, this is great.
Can I back out?
Look,
Can
I
I
want to be
back
clear.
down?
I'm your adversary in all of this, and I think you're doing the right job.
All right. I had to pick a lie of what I was going to tell him.
Say we're professionals.
Oh, say we're here to install cable. No,
Oh, that's good.
Private investigators.
I've been watching a lot of heist movies recently. Yeah, we're a group of private investigators.
Okay.
We're professionals, and we're here to answer the call.
All right. Roll deception. I will tell you, that is actually not super far removed from what you actually are. I mean, you are here to answer the call. You are definitely not professionals.
I don't want them to know that we are not all.
Yes.
I want them to know that we're all associated.
All right. Give me a DC 10 deception check.
All right. I rolled a 7, and I have a +3 in deception.
So that's a 10. You got it. So the guard seems totally convinced. Why would anyone lie about that? Please come in. The guard holds the gate open, and all of you can proceed in. There's like a little garden area in front of the big stone manor house, and he points you up a little path and directs you to wait on some benches on a little porch outside the house. And so you do that.
Okay.
That was your chance to say, we don't do that.
Can we sneak around the back and see if there's anything cool there?
I mean, you could. There are a lot of you, so it wouldn't be too hard to sneak off. It's probably just a question of what your plan is and how much trouble you want to cause. I will remind you, there is plenty of room in the Oakhurst jail.
Or you suggest that subtle hint to just wait and find out what the adventure actually is.
Liz, this is an adventure we create together.
Please.
But if you want to get locked up before anything starts,
She just drunkenly stumbles into the back, and we're all like, "Where'd she go?"
Liz, I will point out, since Vilo is inebriated, there would be a variety of things that would be harder to do.
You never said that earlier. There was no. As someone who's never played Dungeons and Dragons or had any contact with it at all, I would have no idea about that.
Okay.
You would have no idea that alcohol would have a bad effect.
Correct.
I think your acrobatics would be heavily diminished.
In my experience, they would be enhanced in a creative way.
Roll persuasion to persuade the dungeon master. Nope, that's not a thing.
So I want to tell Maximilian that, hey, buddy, I got you past the gate. Now it's up to you.
Okay.
All right. A few moments pass, and a woman comes out of the house. She is flanked by 2 bodyguards. She's kind of an elderly lady, and she's got some fancy jewelry and robes on, and you could kind of assume that she is an important person in House Hercreel.
Greetings, Hercreel Elder.
Yes, I'm Carowin, matriarch of the Hercreel family.
I am a avid reader of the Oakhurst and Beyond newspaper. And I am a man looking for adventure, and I understand that you're going through a particularly trying time in the Hercreel family right now, considering the missing individuals of Talgan and Sharwin. And we are a band of private investigators who know each other very well, and we've decided that we would like to try and help you out in exchange for having our pockets lined for our troubles.
All right, Maximilian, you are lying, so I'm going to ask you to make a deception check.
Okay, so what dice do I roll for that?
D20 plus your deception skill.
So I rolled a 7, plus 1, so 8.
Oh dear God!
She may not be totally sold on your sales pitch, but there do appear to be a bunch of you, and you are, relatively, hardy-looking folk, except for Furion. I'm assuming. Furion.
Can I jump in with
have
a
a brain
bit of
in the
persuasion to try and sort of sell this slightly more?
Okay, and again, remember, there's a difference between persuasion and deception, right? So deception is lying, whereas persuasion is, I don't know, selling.
I'm going to... I think
Nox,
we'll say...
tell me what you're saying, and then roll persuasion.
We're here to help. That's really, don't listen to my friend here quite as much, but we are genuinely all here to help you.
You better
We're
roll well
actually
games.
going to convince the quest giver that we're just useless and they're going to throw us out and nothing will ever happen.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So D20?
Mm-hmm.
I roll a 15 plus 5.
Woo!
All right, so that's a 20. That's really good. All right, so she says, well, yes, we are in very difficult situations right now. My niece and nephew, they're kind of young, aspiring adventurers, and, well, they've gone missing. They went out on their first quest. It's been been about a month has passed, and with no sign of them, and it seems like the right thing to do is to send somebody out.
To bring back their bodies.
Whoa.
I mean, we hope that they are for their safe return. She glares at you, Vilo. But yes, we are offering 125 gold pieces for each for proof of their fate. They would each have a House Hercreal signet ring on them, which could be proof of their fate, and we would offer twice that for their safe return.
Okay. Do you have any information about where they were heading? Do you know anything about why they are missing? Do you have anything you could share with us that could aid us in the beginning of our quest?
They were part of a group that was headed. I don't know much about it. The people here steer clear of it, but there is a place north of here called the Sunless Citadel, and they were some newcomer came into town about a few weeks back and assembled a group and headed out there for fortune and glory. And I'm afraid my niece and nephew were all swept up in it. I tried to convince them, stay here, the safe, easy life, buy grain low, sell grain high. It's really, that is a challenge too. But they were having none of it.
Yes, the Sunless Citadel is a dungeon that is outside of town. It's actually relatively near where the goblins with the magic fruit come from. So I've read all about it.
She looks at you like you're insane.
So do the rest of us.
Guys, he's talking about the fruit again. He seems to love the fruit.
So she says, is that... So I just want to make sure you understand the terms. It's 125 for proof of them. I'm looking for their signet rings, and double for their safe return. So that would be...
I would like to persuade to get half in advance.
All right. Vilo, you have already offended her.
Vilo.
And you are drunk. So I'm going to tell you... why don't you tell me what you're going to say, and then you're going to roll persuasion with disadvantage. When you roll something with disadvantage, the way it works is you roll a d20 twice, or you can roll 2 dice if you have them, and you take the lower.
I don't think that my actions should have consequences.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
The lesson, all right, that's probably, Jason, note that as a possible title. But yes, all of your actions have consequences in this great imaginary world we create together. But especially your
16!
drunken... you get to roll twice, and you're going to take the lowest.
Yes! Oh my goodness. So that's 16 plus my persuasion, yes, which is 2.
What? Okay, well, you got to tell me what that sounds like, because this is madness.
Hello. We're a very competent, together professional crew who may need 1 or 2 supplies to really make a go of this expedition. I mean, undoubtedly, your niece and nephew were rich, fabulously well-dressed, amazingly well-educated individuals, and we just don't have that same pedigree to start us off with, but we do have experience. And all we need is just a little equipment so we can have some money in advance, please. Thanks.
She thinks about it for a moment and has a brief side conversation with one of her servants. He disappears into the house and returns a few moments later, with a pouch that he hands you that feels like it's got about 25 gold pieces in it.
High fives. Can we roll for high five?
No, that's automatic. And well, I don't know. Are any of you bad at that?
All right, I say very
Nice
quietly.
work, Liz.
I say we split the gold as soon as we're out the gate and stop.
I would suggest not doing that right here. That's just rude.
Very quietly.
Be cool, man.
She's an old lady.
I'm
She
very
can't
eager to hear about the results of your quest, and I wish you safe travels, and hopefully that you'll be able to find the fates of my niece and nephew, so that if you are not able to return them, that the Hercreal family will be able to rest knowing that they are not suffering.
Do not worry.
I am still worried.
We will return. Do not, please, do not worry. We will return with some information for you. If not, the individuals questioned.
All right. The guards show you out of the house, and you're standing in the street outside the house where you can divvy up the money if you want.
And
Yay!
Furion
Let's divvy up the money
says,
and go shopping.
Furion says, I know how to get to the Sunless Citadel. I've got that. I've got a map.
Great.
And
You do? Sure, you do.
I mean, yeah, I do.
Got it in a book.
That was for humor purposes.
Okay,
You have
good.
a map if you want a map,
All right.
Furion.
I've,
You're a
heard,
huge
I've done
nerd.
my research. I know where the
Yeah.
Sunless Citadel is.
Yeah, you are the biggest nerd that has been in D&D. I mean, as a character, not as a player.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Aspire higher. Yes.
yeah. Vilo, just to let you know, I think you were hoping to get half. That was ridiculous. That wasn't going to happen. But 25 gold pieces is a significant amount of money, even split several ways. Obviously, the reward that you would get for completing this quest is a huge amount of money for each of you. But just to give you a sense, staying in the tavern and eating and sleeping there, even if you were not comped, like Nox and L already are, would be less than a gold piece a day. So 25
Excellent.
gold pieces goes a long way, unless you need to buy fancy equipment.
I have a really profound sense of satisfaction right now.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very
I think you
bright,
should be
very
drunk
bold,
all the time.
but it paid off.
I did not think that was going to go that way, but
I
Drunken
faith,
master.
faith in the dice, faith in the intoxication. Very persuasive. so I'm drunk.
Liz, let me ask you this: do you want to remain intoxicated?
Kind of, but
Okay.
I know that. No, I don't. I said kind of, but I meant no.
I don't know. I think so far it has proven that you should be.
Liz, I would just say,
funny.
Great rolls.
at any point, if you want to not be intoxicated, you can roll a Constitution check to shake it off.
Don't drink in dungeon, people.
But it's up to you when that is.
When does it wear off? Surely.
I mean,
I have a
we'll
little
say-
map.
So
let me do that. Whenever you find it amusing for it to wear off, how's
So
that?
Furion is very excited that he might actually get to go on an adventure and suggests that we all get a good night's sleep here at the tavern, and then we can start out tomorrow getting the equipment we want, and we can go to the sun. I will find our way to the Sunless Citadel. We can do it, and we can ask along the way to see if anybody has seen that adventuring band. We can do this. I love having a plan.
Furion, I
sounds
love
great.
your excitement.
I would
it
also
too.
like to wake up not intoxicated and not have to throw any dice for it because I need to save my rolls for when it matters.
Yes. Oh, I think
I also
overnight,
think-
right?
Yeah, and also I like that we're going shopping in the morning because we've got lots of money now.
Before we go shopping, I think we should talk to that dude at the inn, Garen. He has loads of stories and he's been around for a while. I think he might know the people, know what's
Also,
happening in the Citadel.
I think Nox had promised to play some music in order to get this free accommodation, so we should.
If we're all
probably
going to
do
stay
that.
overnight, we can go there. Olena can question, Nox can tear the house down, metaphorically, hopefully not physically, and then we can set out in the morning.
All right.
Don't burn me in before we get in some info.
Yeah.
So just a setting out for adventures kind of minutia here. You do now have some money. If you want to spend the money on things that are goods and services, that is probably best done in Oakhurst and not the. I'm just telling you, the Sunless Citadel is likely. Furion would tell you probably does not have a thriving economy.
No.
Okay.
Very few
Not too
imports
many
and
shops.
exports, to your knowledge. Very few. Not as many shopping.
This is our
opportunities.
last chance to get anything.
Yeah,
If
everybody-
if there's something you're lacking in your
Yeah.
adventurer's kit, you need to fill up here. And I do agree that we should see if the bartender knows something about this other party that left, because that would be a good piece of information to know.
So I guess I should ask at this point, because most of us are new to this, the idea of shopping.
Exactly.
What are we looking for? Like what is available to us?
The answer may be, so the player's handbook has a list of gear you can buy and prices. Fancy stuff tends to be very expensive, so you're not going to be able to get that with 1/6 of 25, right? And the answer in general may be that there may not be anything that you think you need yet. So I don't know. I was curious if anyone was like, oh, I really want this thing that totally I would like to get now that you have not gotten already.
Where might we find a list apart from in the handbook?
Jason, do you have the player's handbook handy? I don't have a hard copy of it in front of me.
Is there a
Of
'cause I
what's in
like
the
looking
adventurer's kit?
Of items?
stuff I can buy for
stuff you can
75
buy.
gold?
Oh boy.
Please don't.
I don't know, because there just might be something cool in there, something shiny. A new black
The
grimoire.
chat wants us to buy pork belly.
But we're gonna buy some of that grain low and sell it high. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
we could start
We could invest.
investing.
Yes, and that is how we change from doing Dungeons and Dragons to doing microeconomics.
Well, there's a bunch of different adventuring gear you can get that probably even here some of it is available. Although I doubt they have a great selection here.
Anything sound cool, cheap and cool. Like
I've
I
got
don't
some
know.
rope. Rope is apparently very good.
James,
I have rope already.
I might need
I
some
have
weasel
some
food.
Any like potions or
Honestly,
dark
the weasel
wizard
just hunts for
spells
itself.
or
Those are too expensive for what we have.
fire things.
Oh yeah, prices are quite high for everything.
You could get like an orb for 20 gold pieces. I don't know what you would do with it.
Do what's an orb do?
it channels magical energy.
Oh,
If you
What's
are
the point in having
skilled
5
in
gold
orbs,
if
otherwise it's
Is
just an
anyone
orb.
skilled in orbs?
What's the point in having 5 gold if we can't spend it on something?
I don't know if you want to. You could pool your money for. I don't know. Is there anything exciting you can get for 25, Jason?
A book?
I asked Jason, not Furion.
Is it a demonic book?
No, I think it's actually a really boring book. It's like history
Oh.
of crops in Oakhurst
History
and
of not
beyond.
demons.
Yeah,
Hey, if we wanted to
Holy
get
water?
started,
Velo might love that. Holy water is
What
25
kind of-
gold.
Don't really want to kill the demons.
An
That seems mean.
hourglass, we could tell the time with that. There's not a lot. I mean, the Adventurer's Kit is built specifically so you don't have to waste time shopping for things.
Waste time.
Spend time delightfully shopping for things with your friends. Shopping for imaginary things is what Dungeons
I love
and
it.
Dragons
It's
is
so
about.
good, though. What are you saying? It's one of the best bits of any RPG. Shopping for
I will
new
point out
cosmetics.
you all have an adventurer's kit, which has a variety of stuff in it. You may want to remind yourself of what's in that. That's usually things where later you argue about trying to use those for things that don't make sense with me. And I tell you you're full of rubbish when you're like, I'm going to build a small tree out of a rope or something. Or I'm
a
going to,
crossbow.
I'm going to use my rations to fashion a makeshift crossbow, that kind of thing.
I have got a crossbow though. It's not makeshift.
we've already
it's
got-
a crossbow.
You've got stuff. So you've
Yeah,
got
we've got
ropes and
weapons.
torches and whatnot. So you'll return to the Old Boar Inn. It's now, it's clearly kind of, the farmers have clearly, they've been eating dinner for a little bit. So Nox, you could go on at any time, whenever you want. And if there's any other business that you want to conclude before before you all go to sleep and wake up bright and early the next day.
well, I guess I should do a performance.
You should.
Shall I roll for whether it's good or not?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. I got an 18 and +5.
Wow.
So, Nox, tell us a little bit about your first set that you do for them.
I think it's mainly an instrumental guitar thing. Usually, Nox tries to sort of build it up, and then there's usually some kind of pyrotechnic at the end, depending on whether the roof is wood or not.
The roof is wood. Because it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Then probably not the pyrotechnic part.
Nox just sticks his head out the window and fires
Yes.
some flame.
Yes.
No, it's
The
just like,
farmers and
could everybody
Garen.
come outside for 5 minutes?
Yes.
And I just do this because it is quite effective.
All right. Everyone is very impressed. You think that they'll probably be going home and telling their families about this, which can only help if you're around to perform on Solstice Day. Because this is like getting the word out early, right? So, yeah.
It's like a little warm-up gig.
Yeah. So, that's what Nox wanted to do. Olena, did you want to do things?
I want to talk to my pal Garen.
All right. Garen is over at the bar. He's busily pouring lots of drinks for all the farmers who are having a grand time thanks to Nox's performance.
Garen, I know I've been bugging you about stories and all of that for the whole past week, but I have a very big one, and I promise as much as I can, that it might be my last one.
Oh.
But okay, 2 last questions. Sorry, 2. So, what can you tell me about the Sunless Citadel?
Oh, the Sunless Citadel. Well, it's north of here. I mean, I just rumors mainly, but I'll share them with you. It's north of here. You can follow the old road. It's this rather wretched place called the Ashen Plain. It's all kind of horrible. Nothing grows up there. People don't plant. People don't take their livestock up there. They say, in the olden days, long before perhaps even Oakhurst was Oakhurst, there was some kind of dragon cult up there, and everything went bad, and the citadel sank into the ground, and there's a big ravine there. So yeah, we steer clear of it. The Hercreal family, you know about them, right?
I have made their acquaintance, yes.
Yeah, so they two of them went missing up there about a month ago with an adventuring group that came through town.
Interesting. Do you might have any clues as to what happened or any guesses?
Who knows? That place is bad news. That's what I think. I mean, there's I think the goblins that come into town every now and then. I think that's where they make their home. And when they come into town, they're on good behavior. But you show up at their house, you're looking for trouble. That's what I say.
Have you heard of anyone else going up north and coming back from there? How bad is it up there?
People don't. Things are quiet here. That's what I like about Oakhurst. But this was a while back. It's probably more than 10 years ago. Back when I first opened this inn, there was some kind of I think he was some kind of magic user. There was a human. His name was Belloc. He stopped by. He had a pet frog. He was asking all kinds of questions about the Sunless Citadel.
Was it the frog that was asking the questions?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. It was a while back.
Okay.
It didn't have the recipe quite right on the ale yet. But I think it was him. And he had a lot of questions about the Sunless Citadel, and I think he was there, but I don't think he ever came back.
Oh, okay. So that's 3
one-way
people
trip.
that never- One-way trip. It seems to be.
Well, and the Hercule family had a group with them. So I mean, it was Talgan and Sharwin. There was a paladin. He was the leader of the group. I think Sir Bradford was his name. He kind of came into town with a ranger. I don't remember the ranger's name, and was looking for people to recruit. And he recruited Talgan and Sharwin, and they headed up north.
Do you know why they were going up there?
Fame and fortune.
Same as everyone else.
Well, yeah, I can't recommend it. I mean, I did okay back in my day, but I preferred the cities. You weren't going to see me in any Sunless Citadel. Goblins, I would just rob from the simple folk. I mean, simple folk like the nobility, not the commoners. I wouldn't do that. That would be uncouth. But people that had money, I would take their money, and that's how I opened this bar.
Very well. They seem to be doing well. Okay, sorry for all of the questions. I think that's it from me, unless my crew here has any more.
You've got a crew now. Good on you. That is
finally. Are you proud of me?
I am. I was.
Oh, validation.
I mean, I got to tell you, I've tried to do the solo gig, and it is hard. You got to have people who are going to have your back, and I hope you can trust some of these people, because people you pay to watch your back, it's not the same as friends. So. I
don't know about these guys. Just met them, but we're all in this together.
Watch out for them. Maybe they'll watch out for you, but be careful. Just you don't want to end up an old grizzled bartender all by himself. So.
You seem very happy though.
Well, guys. Now I'm lonely. Now that I think about it. Oh.
Hey crew.
And you leave.
No. Hey crew.
You're like, no time for emotional moments.
No? Okay. No, I tried. Cool. Crew, so what do you think we should do, or what's happening next? I should tell them what I learned,
right?
Or
yep.
Because I'm not quite sure whether they were there.
And I would just, Garen just told you a million things. You should decide what you're going to relay to the group. So, because they were not there for that conversation.
Okay. So, guys, I asked my old mate Garen about the Sunless Citadel. I didn't get much useful info. Basically, everyone keeps going up. Well, everyone. It's just a crew and a guy 10 years ago who went up there, never came back. So, we should all be thinking twice about whether going there or not.
Adventure!
Yeah, you guys could just decide. let's not do this, and the podcast is over. So,
I care only for adventure. I will take the risks, and I'm sure we'll succeed, because if we band together, we can do anything, as we've proven already. Look what we did. We got money out of those people. We shouldn't have gotten any money from them.
We didn't do anything.
that was mainly Violet, just to be clear.
Together.
And I'm quite keen to use my tools as well. So that's 2 of us already.
Tools being daggers.
Hey, and a rapier.
Okay.
Rapier? However
Yeah,
you
I
say.
mean, I've got nothing to do until the solstice, so yeah, I'll tag along.
Okay. And
Furion, you've probably read all the books in this town.
yeah, I'm sure Furion knows more than Garen by this point. We'll roll a dice at some point.
Furion, I think, has established that he is book smart and not street smart because he literally did not know what was across the street.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to accomplish in Oakhurst before you turn in for the night and set out in the morning?
Just a wild suggestion. One small one. I think we should burn the whole place to the ground.
I would
Before we leave.
make a slightly different suggestion. This
Go
could
for
be
it.
a great team building exercise for the evening.
Yes, it could be. We
I would
all
like
split the fire.
For us to attempt to make a human pyramid.
That is
None of us are
right.
human. Are we? Are
Only
we
one
taking
of-
farmers and making a pyramid
one-
with them?
one-
Adventurers
one
pyramid.
human.
It is well known. I have a long family of adventurers. This is how a half orc like myself could be from such nobility. The Thundercliff clan came across much gold in their history, and my parents bestowed upon me the idea of the adventurers pyramid, where the evening before an adventure begins, we attempt to build a pyramid, and if we can succeed in that, we can succeed in anything.
And if we fail?
We can still succeed, but we have to work harder at it.
Okay.
Furion
So,
is
Dungeon Master,
sketching
I would
a
like to-
pyramid on his in his notebook now. He's very excited.
Dungeon
the
Master,
map
I would
has
like to
everything.
roll for pyramid.
all right. So I think you're gonna have to tell me a little bit about that. I think probably. So Furion, sorry, not Furion. Maximilian. I think that's probably just athletics.
Yep. That sounds fantastic. Let's roll for athletics.
So do we
All right.
all roll?
So
Yeah.
I would say probably if you're at the top of the pyramid, maybe it's acrobatics. At the bottom of
Yes,
the pyramid,
I want
it's
to
at
do
the top.
that. I want to
This is
do
at
a
the top of the
somersault
period.
and jump right, land
So,
right on top.
Maximilian,
That's
you
my
may
big
need to
thing.
direct people a little bit.
Yep.
I think this is part of the team building activity.
Okay.
Because I don't know
So-
if everybody is ready to just spring into a pyramid.
I'm going to
from the
suggest
get-go.
definitely that me and Nox are at the base of the pyramid.
That was
Does
an
anybody
important part
else
of
have
this-
any
of this
proficiency
experience.
in athletics?
I have a lot. Oh god damn the peer pressure. I have a -1 on athletics and
Okay.
no bonus on acrobatics.
Okay, so Liz, you're going to go on the second rung of the pyramid. I'm still looking for anybody who has at least 0 or more in athletics.
I have 0.
I have a +1 in athletics. I can be down there.
Okay. So
I have
for
a
the
Two
plus one.
enormous guys, and then Furion, who basically
The spindliest of nerd elves.
they're,
So
You guys
we'll
gotta
roll for
watch
the
out for
bottom
my
layer.
horns,
Should we
though, if
start
you're
with the
gonna be
bottom layer,
above.
Tony?
I'm in the middle
Was-
between them and am actually not helping
I'm
at all.
doing nothing.
You're a low-bearing elf.
Okay. Mike, were you saying something?
Should we roll for the bottom bottom layer of
Yes.
the pyramid?
So
All right, okay.
let's see athletics checks for the bottom layer of the pyramid.
Okay.
All right, 12 plus.
ooh.
I've got a 15.
I've got 9.
13.
Okay. All right. I don't think it's that hard to be the bottom layer of the pyramid. So, and you know what, James, you're huge. Why don't you do that with advantage? So why don't you roll again and take the higher?
Okay. 16.
All right.
plus 5.
So the bottom layer of the
So,
pyramid
21.
is there at Maximilian's coaching. Maximilian, who's next?
So, and you know, what is your what you have acrobatics, right? What is your acrobatic?
Oh, it's like +5, and I want to do a somersault and land on the top, but
The
you
top
need
is not
the
available
second.
yet. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so
The
it's not
top is
nice.
occupied by Fox. I'm sorry. I already built it in the map.
the fox then jumps on top of.
him. It would be a shame to not use my acrobatics because I don't have much.
Well, there needs to be a human top, and then Fox can be on the very top of
Yes.
that, because
Okay.
otherwise
None of
we
us are
run out of
humans.
pyramid-shaped
Yeah.
numbers.
You have one human.
Oh no, we do have a human. That's right.
He's drunk.
Let's have. So, what would be the next layer? Are we going through it still for athletics, or can we throw some acrobatics in there too, Tom?
I think it's athletics, but I don't think. All right, full disclaimer: I've never done this in real life. I don't know how hard this is. Does
The
anyone have
middle
any?
layer is not too difficult.
The middle is not.
The
Okay.
first 2 layers are dead easy. The top one can be a little harder.
All right.
From
Yeah.
20-year-old experience, I might.
So this is outside of my preparations in the fantasy world of Dungeons and Dragons.
You weren't expecting human pyramid?
I was not. Also, you keep saying human pyramid, and it seems
Adventurous pyramid. That's,
Thank you. Also, Adventurers Pyramid sounds kind of like it's some kind of scam.
It's a scheme. It's definitely a scheme. Once
So-
we're all in the pyramid, then the real sales pitch begins.
It's an inverted funnel. So,
Nox has got a +4 in acrobatics.
That is, you are already at the
Nope.
base. You
Yeah,
should
you
have
know,
given
but
that
I'm
number
saying
before.
it would be funnier
Nope.
if I was at the top.
Nope, you're already there. You're done. So we have. Let's have Liz and Tiff roll next, and we'll roll
I got
for
a
whatever they have.
12.
all right. I think you just need to beat a 10 to get up there.
I got
Perfect.
12. There we
That
go.
beats a 10, right?
Yeah.
I had 17.
Excellent.
All right. Middle layer of the pyramid is there. Everyone, I feel like you're doing a
Plus
good job.
0.
So now we have Alana's somersault attempt here for the top
All
of the
right.
pyramid.
Give me
Come
an
on.
acrobatics.
And then you can throw fox at me and I'll catch him.
Yes.
As part of it. I got a 9 plus 5.
All right. You launch yourself and land on the top of the pyramid and suddenly are startled as a weasel climbs up your leg and perches on your head.
And it was at that point
Oh, no, I
that
lost
we
half
all
its
knew
body in
we
my
could do
move.
this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the farmers standing around watching this. It's like,
Why did my fox come apart on the map? There we go.
I don't know.
Weasel fox.
Weasel fox.
Have we done this?
Oh, God, it's all in
beautiful.
pieces now.
Now,
Oh, God.
now we are. So I would say, like, adventurers, we are now bonded together. We can do this. We can do anything. If we are able to build this adventurous pyramid, we now know we are, as everybody knows, the pyramid is the strongest shape, and we have done it. We have made an adventurous pyramid, and now we can set out in the morning and we can claim what's the treasure that is ours. Obviously, finding the Hercule family in the process.
So Tony, we're level 2
Much.
now, right?
Nope.
How much XP did we get for the pyramid?
Yeah, surely we got some experience for that.
Yes, you get 1 experience point. Here, tell you what, I'll be generous. You get 10 experience points.
Good work, everybody.
Anything else important you want to accomplish before going to sleep?
No, I want to sleep now. Please.
All right.
Maximilian, I admire your confidence in this whole endeavor.
Thank
You
you,
have
Knox.
inspired
From
us.
a performer like yourself, that means a great deal.
Chat suggests Adventurer's Pyramid for a title.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty good. All right. You awaken the next day in the town of Oakhurst, which is, you feel like you've now seen everything there is to do in Oakhurst. Ready to take on the world. There's stew for breakfast because there's not a lot of variety.
It's a stew-based meal
Yeah.
system in the end.
You know what? It's a simple town with simple people, Maximilian, and they like their life this way, and they don't take kindly to fancy half-orcs telling them how to live, no matter how
stew?
attractive they are.
I got a stew and all I see is wheat on this thing. Where's the bread?
Well, I mean, you turn wheat into bread, right? You don't
Yeah.
grow bread in the fields, to be clear.
Where's this stew coming from? I see no animals on this map. This is
Don't ask awkward
arable
questions.
land.
The weasel.
This is an important part of Dungeons and Dragons, Liz. Don't you dare critique my maps. I didn't make this map. Someone with much better art skills than I.
There's like a mine up here. Maybe we should go investigate it.
Yes, that sounds exactly like what this adventure is about. This is a world we create together. Do whatever you want.
I don't sense sincerity in your words there.
Have you ever sensed sincerity in my words?
Constantly.
The dungeon master always lies. So, what would you like to do?
did we establish that there's no shopping that we can actually usefully do?
It sounds like there's nothing you can afford at this stage of things. So you've got some traveling money. Maybe if you find a goblin shop, you can spend it.
We
Okay.
can bribe a goblin or something.
You can bribe many goblins with 25 gold pieces.
We can bribe people. That's brilliant.
Yes, you
Let's
could
go-
also just start by bribing each other. Really get that money moving.
I think
we
it
should-
might be best if we actually attempt to set out on our adventure.
To the Sunless
sure.
Citadel.
There we
Do we
go.
get a new map? Do we get a new map?
You will eventually, but let me describe the path first. So there's going to be some parts where I'm just going to talk about stuff, and then there'll be parts where you'll see stuff. So you are ready to leave the town of Oakhurst. How long are we into this adventure? Furion, you have studied various maps and descriptions of the local area, and though you have never been to the Citadel itself, you know that it's about a 7-mile hike north of Oakhurst. Furion, what do you know about the Sunless Citadel, / do you want to know more about the Sunless Citadel?
I would love to know more. I don't know a lot about it other than that it's present there and that the goblins are around that vicinity with their magic fruit, but that's about all I know.
Why don't you give me a history check with advantage because you spent like a week reading up on all things Oakhurst.
That's a 23.
Wow. You
Such
know
a brain box.
you know that the Sunless Citadel, which is kind of the local name for it, right? So this citadel was once the home of some kind of ancient cult that worshipped dragons. Specifically, a dragon named Ashardalon, who laid waste to the areas around it, which is known as the Ashen Plain. So it was all burnt up, so nothing grows there. Several hundred years ago. And that there was some kind of horrible calamity, and the citadel like sunk into the earth.
Hence the
Vela
name.
looks very upset that it's
Yes.
not a demon worshipping cult.
Well, the cult is probably no longer, since this was quite some time ago.
Even so, if they could have left artifacts, but they're dragon artifacts.
Yes.
Do you have a
Nox,
problem
maybe
with
you'll find-
dragons?
Maybe we'll get some groupies there
Yeah.
as well.
Everyone's gonna love Nox. You might find some family there. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to head north?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you head north. It's not, thankfully, there's a road, so it's a pretty easy walk. I'm not going to make you roll anything. It's also relatively safe. Rolling hills, fields, occasionally, small forests that you pass through. And after a few hours, you arrive. The road kind of skirts the edge of a ravine. And the ravine is, it's quite large, and it's got, there are these strange pillars kind of built up along the edge of the ravine that look quite ancient. Some of them have kind of fallen over or are leaning against each other. And there's actually kind of a similar set of pillars far on the other side of the ravine. And it's almost like these were built before the ravine was here.
Can I do a... Wait for it. Well, I don't know. Did they look magical?
You can decide. You can find out. When I say decide, you can look at them and do an Arcana check, and I will tell you based on your Arcana check if they're
I
magical or
would like
not.
to do an Arcana check on whether they're magical.
And can I do
or not.
Okay.
investigation to see if I can understand what's going on here? Non-magically?
Yeah.
So hang on. Roll a 3.
That means no.
And-
you cannot do that.
So Liz, they do not seem magical to you.
I do have a +5 though, so it's an 8.
Liz, they do
Yeah.
not seem magical to you.
All right, I got a 21
Jason.
in investigation.
So what are you doing with investigation?
I want to look at the pillars and see if I can understand sort of like what I'm seeing here. What's their origin? Are they
Sure.
the last remnants of this citadel that has sunken into the ravine? Is that what they date from?
Yep.
Any clues?
So
about
Furion is poking around at the pillars. The pillars are quite ancient, Furion, and you do think that this is almost like probably like the perimeter of the citadel. And so that you can see the other side of the perimeter on the far side of the ravine, and between them is the citadel deep in the ravine. I'm also going to say, as you're poking around, yeah, you conclude these are quite ancient. Did you roll investigation?
I did.
What'd you get?
21.
21. With a 21, you're also going to notice a couple things. There's a variety of graffiti on the pillars. What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Primordial.
Not in a language you recognize.
All right.
That's an interesting choice. Your study abroad experiences were dramatic.
I just like learning languages, man.
Yeah. You also discover there's a variety of remnants of some small campfires around the pillars, though they seem to be pretty old. And as you're poking around, you discover near one of the campfires, there is a rope that has been affixed to the pillar and has a bunch of knots in it to aid climbing that just drops into the ravine.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to wave to my fellow adventurers. Oh, I love saying that. Oh, adventure. Learning is the greatest adventure of all, though. If anybody, I want to point out the writing and see if anybody else can understand what this writing is. That's the graffiti on the...
How about Nox? Do you have any dragon-based languages in there?
Naturally, Nox can speak Draconics. So,
or Tony, you could also tell us what it's written in, and we could see if any of us know that language.
That's one way we could do it. That's not how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Nox, it is not in Common or Draconic.
What about Goblin or Orc?
You know what? It is in Goblin.
Okay, so can I just...
Does anyone else speak Goblin?
No.
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 Okay.
Don't worry, everybody. Maximilian is here.
Maximilian's got us.
Read to you, translate
Maximilian,
to you.
how good are you at reading?
He told me he could read.
So,
He read the newspaper. He read the want ad.
what do you
Come
want
on,
from
man.
me, Tony?
I think you can just read it.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you there's a variety. The graffiti is in Goblin. And they are basically, it's a variety of, some of them are just rude, but the ones that are more coherent are a variety of inscriptions that are basically kind of warnings and threats against trespassers and claims that this is Goblin territory. Keep out.
So, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Out of game. Now, Max really wants to go on this adventure.
Yeah.
Would he want to could he necessarily not share this with his...
Absolutely. That's what you know. It's up to you to decide what Maximilian is going to convey. You
Okay.
could, for example, just because we're all learning this, Maximilian might not say anything. He might tell you what it is. He might stretch the truth about what it says, or he might just outright lie about what it is.
Okay.
So, and you as the other characters and players you get to decide what the implications of that is in terms of how you feel about Maximilian later in life.
Okay.
Assuming you all live long enough.
Say to me. So everyone, I would say it's not too much to worry about. It's not necessarily inviting to us, but I think we'll be fine. It doesn't give me any cause for massive concern. We can take it on.
Everybody.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's go then.
These
Come
are
on.
those apple goblins, probably. Furian says.
Yeah, it's probably the
Jason,
apple
the
goblins.
preferred term is podcaster.
Apple Goblin jeans.
It's the Apple Goblin gang.
Fur.
Tiff, did you? I missed what you said.
Oh, I said apple Goblin jeans.
It was really important. Please allow me to try and say it
I'm
again.
glad I got that.
But there's this rope over here. And, I think ropes can be very useful in adventuring because we can go over the side and down into the
That's
the
not
ravine.
how ropes. That's how ropes work. Yeah. So
I reckon
Did
we
you
should
just
give it a go.
explain how ropes work to the group?
Yes, there's a
Is that
lot.
what you
Let me
just
tell you
did?
the. I also know the history. I interviewed a rope maker, and it's fascinating how they make the ropes. Furian says, and everybody immediately tunes him out. I think.
And then goes down the rope.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's right,
immediately
escape.
starts climbing down the rope.
all right.
Escaping, yeah, rope
So
escape.
I am going to ask you. This is the part in adventures where sometimes the movement, where the order of you is important. Let me go to a different map.
Make the tank go first.
I think the heavier ones should go last in case
No,
they
tank goes first alone into the darkness or whatever, because they can take the damage, whilst the rest of us just check, and they can check to see whether they're safe or not. That's how it works, right? That's what I'm doing.
If it's dark down there, can't people with fire ability light it up?
No, they can't.
And a
No.
lantern.
They're called
we're
torches.
delicate.
So
Well, I also have I have
my
a proficiency
hands.
for seeing in the dark.
also you might check.
can also see in
some
the
of you
dark.
may be able to see in the dark.
Yeah, I
can
can
see
see
in
in
the
the dark.
Send the dark seeing person down first.
I can't remember where I see that on my my character sheet, but I know that it's something that I have.
I have it too.
Yeah, I do
It
too.
tells me where.
Am I
Yeah,
meant to see a
60
new
feet.
thing?
Dark
Is there-
vision.
Where is it? What's it under?
Features and
It's in
traits.
senses. Yeah, features and traits.
Is there a new picture?
Yeah, I have the 60 feet dark vision as well, shades of gray.
So a bunch of us do, but we can all see.
Okay.
By and large, we'll see in the dark, so we're good.
Except for those of you who can't.
Well, I have light, so I can always cast light and as a cantrip onto an object, and we can see that way.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
could also send it out far.
Basically, we're pretty well
all-
set for going into a dark area, is what we've
All right.
discovered as a team.
So, and it's still middle of the day, so it's not, and but the ravine itself is, shady from the ravine nature of it, but it's not pitch black or anything yet. So the rope is about a 50-foot climb down, and there's almost like a natural kind of tower rock formation that the rope ends at, which then it looks like you could probably climb further down on the rocks from that. So if you can you all see the new map that I've loaded?
Nope,
see
it's a
blackness.
black square.
Yes,
It's a black square. If you scroll up to the top of it, do you see not a black square?
Nope, black square
No.
all the way to the end of the map.
Yeah.
Why is that?
The Twitch stream also has no map.
Yes, well, that's me because there was nothing to see.
Okay, just checking.
As soon as we have a map, the Twitch stream will also have a map.
Exciting.
It's just really dark.
Yeah, I
you
think I
think
got
that-
it.
Do you think that? I mean, when you're done, I'm worried about my athletics for climbing down that rock.
You are all
formation.
capable of climbing down a thing.
Okay.
And
I
is
will
this
not-
rope going to hold some of the heavier members
Oh,
of
I
the
think we
party?
already went
Yeah.
down the rope. It wasn't a problem. Now we're at the rocks.
Yeah, you're down the rope. I'm just trying to
Oh,
figure
we're
out.
already there. Great.
There's like something with dynamic lighting that I'm trying to turn off.
Unless the problem is we can all see black right now because we all died.
Yes.
We didn't make it down the rope. We thought we made it down the
end.
rope.
Hey, at least we didn't die in the first episode.
That's true.
True. By not doing anything. Never
We
leave
had at
Oakhurst,
least
never die.
an encounter.
As soon as you see something, let me know. I'm trying
Okay.
like a million things here.
Okay.
This is annoying.
You could always snipe it if you look at Adina's screen. You can see Mike's screen, so then we can see what he's saying.
Why?
Mike is very aware of that fact.
I like when I look at Mike's screen that I can see him in the background.
Hey!
Yes,
oh no!
I
Now it's
can
No,
see
reversed.
the
no,
village.
And now we're back to the black
No.
map.
Back to black.
Jason, can you just make sure to scroll all the way up on the black?
Yeah, I'm
Nothing.
seeing it's just a little. It's just like a little, relatively small square in the midst of the kind of gray background.
Computers.
So it's not a very large tile either that we're looking
No,
at.
it's not.
Okay.
This is great.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Roll20 show starring Tony.
I mean, I can describe. This map is not very detailed. I could totally just describe it, but I think you'll feel better if you can see it.
Yes, I like
Hey,
the
Nox,
map.
do you have your guitar with you?
Yeah,
Can you
I
perform
could,
something for
Is it
us?
'cause-
Yeah, play something for us.
Is it because
I
our
could sing
tokens
a-
aren't on this map?
Nope, they totally are.
Oh,
Wow.
Wait,
That-
did
I
the
just-
weasel I drew, will that come over too?
No,
I
sorry.
had to redraw my weasel?
You do have to reach out your
Oh.
weasel. You're gonna get good practice with that.
There's something happening on the screen.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's not me.
I'm making.
Okay.
I'm making
Oh,
circles.
Okay.
It's really
That lets me
exciting.
know that you're in the right
Okay.
place. Why?
Oh, I saw something.
There's a little label.
Oh, that was me.
Oh,
Oh.
So where are tokens?
They're gonna be at the top of the screen, but I don't know why you can't see them because I can see them. Stupid things. There's something
fine.
with. Hold on.
Gone.
Thanks to everyone that's been hanging out in the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
I hope that you're all enjoying our Dungeons and Dragons adventure so far.
or our interpersonal
Adventure.
party dynamics adventure, which is the greatest adventure of all.
That's why I play RPGs. I don't care about the adventure and the fighting bit. It's for the characters. I
And what
assume that's-
characters we are.
Oh boy. It'll be a shame when most of them die instantly and have to be replaced.
Falling off a rope.
Did anything change just now?
No.
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 I see a weasel. That's.
I tried.
Oh, there's a
I'm gonna take you to
weasel.
another map and then bring you back to this one.
Oh hey!
See it. We see it.
Things happen.
Do you see yourself at like the top of a cliff
Yep.
thingy?
Yep. Now I understand
Alright.
why we can't see it, right? Because you're hiding some of the map from us. Is that how
Yes.
it works? Okay.
But
Did we
apparently
build a
there was a
little
thing
campfire?
where basically I had dynamic lighting on, which, Jason, I think we've agreed in past things is not helpful.
It's not helpful.
Dynamic lighting does a thing where, like, only lets you see around your character,
Right.
which sounds cool, but is really bad for the stream, basically.
And also clearly doesn't work.
Well, basically, I did not have a light source equipped for any of your characters, so it's like you see nothing.
Right.
So this is the top. Don't go too far. So
Run away!
you climb down the 50-foot rope and end on this basically kind of sandy ledge that overlooks a subterranean gulf of darkness below you. The ledge is wide and kind of rough. You could say it's rough hewn. And there's some rocky debris, and there's signs of a cut stairwell heading down. There's also kind of, it looks like the remnants of a like a campfire here.
Okay.
So, all right. Sorry that was technologically unhappy. Let's do a little bit, and then we'll do a cliffhanger for this episode.
So, is there anything in the campfire stuff that
Yes.
will burn?
Do you want to investigate it?
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check, Nox.
Okay. Hang on, just check my
I'll do that too, because
stat.
Furion loves investigating things.
All right.
I'm not very good at it, but Max thinks he's smarter, so I'm going to do it anyway.
I only got a 9.
Investigation, I have
I got
11.
a 16.
11.
All right. We'll go through people one at a time. So, Nox, you're investigating the fire pit.
Yeah.
All right. You got an 11. So it's very old. It does not seem like any fire has probably been lit here in years. There's just a bunch of ash left over from various things that have been burned. Furion, what did you roll?
A 9.
And what were you looking at?
I don't know, the fire pit too, probably. So, you know.
All right. I think you learn about as much as Nox just learned.
I got a 16.
All right. Maximilian, what were you investigating?
I'm just taking a look at the general area around us.
All right. You're poking around, making sure that everything is safe. And everything is not safe. From what? This is
do that?
Yeah. Surely this would not have happened if Mike hadn't done this. From behind a pile of rubble over here, several very large rats of unusual size, jump out.
Remember, everyone? Pyramid formation.
Is that applicable in all situations?
Didn't believe they
I will
existed.
say, on the Adventurer's Pyramid.
Oh my god, there's rats! They've eaten the weasel.
No, they haven't. No.
They have not. They have threatened the weasel.
The
The
weasel's
Adventurer's
hiding
Pyramid
underneath
does
my
a few
cloak.
things. One of the things the Adventurer's Pyramid taught us is who is the strongest amongst us. Strongest at the front, weakest at the back, pyramid formation.
All right. The giant rats close in on our novice adventurers who have literally just barely started the campaign. Will they be killed by rats? That would be really sad. Will they be killed by
Bats.
A weasel?
by bats? Will they be killed by rats? Will they be endangered by Vilo's drinking problem? Will Maximilian continue to lie to them about the goblin threat? Find out next time on Total Party Kill.
Rats.
Rats.